Well, hello, Patricia here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, but more specifically here in the sort of clear sky of Alaska, almost getting there. Anyway, welcome. I know it's been a while sorry about that, since I've done a video. Summer caught up with me. I don't know about you, but wow, I ended up being so incredibly busy that wow. I mean, what with family coming and fish camp and canning salmon and doing beets and how many of you like pickled beets? That'll be our question for today. So I'm trying to get you to answer on the video or in the comments down below. So if you would, the question for the day is, who likes pickled beets? And another not subsequent, what am I wanting? Anyway, a question that closely matches it. How many of you know what chow is? Have you ever had it? Have you ever made it and canned it? All those good things. Okay, so we're ready to go. A couple of things I want to be sure and let you know. One, this kit, which I will try to remember to show you a little more of at the end. It's handmade and heartfelt. It is an adorable kit. I think you're really going to like that one. But it is available and coordinates with a Stampin' Up! Class. There's also the Road to Christmas kit. Love this kit. I haven't even put it together, but I already know I absolutely love it. I have seen photos of it. This is what you make, and love the trucks. I don't know what there is about trucks. I even have a red truck. Doesn't look like those, but I still have a red truck. Anyway, that is also with a Stampin' Up! Class, and there's more information about that on my YouTube channel. I mean, not YouTube, my stampinwithpatricia.com website. And what was I going to say about that? Oh, one other kit I wanted to show you, and I haven't done this one either, but I have seen it put together, is this Garland, and it is amazing. Oh, this must be a second one because I haven't even opened it yet. Well, I mean, I've opened it in the other one, so I won't open this one. But it makes this gorgeous garland, and there are, look at that stack. Can you see that? Of pages that have leaves. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least 9 leaves for all those colors. It looks like about 25 pages, maybe. I don't know. I'm guessing. And then these acorns and the garland base. I will do a video on that. One thing you might want if you're going to do the garland is to have a glue gun. So if you already have a glue gun, that's great. You can get them for like $5. I mean, they are incredibly inexpensive, unless you get a really fancy one that's cordless and all that kind of stuff. But they're very nice. So let's get, oh, one other thing. Near the end of this month, there will be an announcement. If you want to buy your own starter kit and get 20% discount on everything that you purchase, then most everything, I should say. There are a few things you don't get very few. If you want to do that, the announcement will come later this month, and I will announce it on the stampinwithpatricia.com webpage, as well as on my Facebook. On Facebook, you can search for Stampin' with Patricia and no spaces, just Stampin' with Patricia, and it will also be in there. Okay, let's get to our card. I know there's another announcement, but I can't think of it at the moment. So hopefully, I do remember what it is. 15% off on Thursday of this week on stamps. Now, not bundles, but stamps and stamp things like the blocks. 15% on the blocks individually or the whole kit of blocks. So awesome sale. So we need to, if you're interested in that, wow, that's awesome. I'm going to move you again. Sorry about this. I hate moving it after I've supposedly gotten it set, but I think now we're tilted that way. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so let's look at what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to use those and the Eyelet 3D embossing folder. I love embossing folders. I don't use them as much as I should. I really need to use them more because they add a tremendous amount of texture, but they're also only $10, most of them. Some of them are not, but love that. We're going to use the Builder Blossoms. This has got to be one of my favorite stamp sets. And on Thursday, 15% off. You got to love that. We're also going to use Branching Out. No, we're not going to use the stamp on this one. We're going to use, we are going to use the dies. Oh my goodness. These are, I hate it when people say this is a must-have, but truly, if you're a stamper, if you like to make cards, if you like to make scrapbook pages, these shapes are so amazing and they layer so beautifully. If I liked the term must-have, this would be what I would say is a must-have. Now, I don't like the term, so I'm not going to say it. Okay, and then some sentiment for your card, whatever it is that you want. So, another thing I wanted to say about this one is this is a really good card that you can make two of. And while you're making one, why not make two? Okay? Because it doesn't take very much, if any, more time to make two than it does to make one. So I'll show you that here in just a moment. But, sorry, I'm dealing with a bad cold. So let me move these, get things out of the way, and I'm going to show you what I mean about doing two cards with this at one time. So the first thing we need to do is our card base. Now I want to show you something on this. This card that I'm going to create uses Timid Tiger and Cajun Craze. We're also going to use Crumb Cake and Berry Vanilla. This is our color base. But if you want to use another color that, you're wanting to send something to, now this could be to a guy, I would think. I guess it would depend on what he likes. But use your color wheel. Go over here to your monochromatic, okay, and go through here. So I have Cajun Craze. Now, I could have used Pumpkin Pie or Calypso Coral, but I did pull out the Timid Tiger just because that's one of the current 25 to 27 colors, and I just love it. And then these two are some of your base colors, your white, your black, your crumb cake, your very vanilla, all of those. So you can add those to complement these others, but if you want to do another color, oh my goodness, do it. Okay, so here's why I said that this card, and to be honest, a lot of cards are easily made 2 at a time, because you've got your card base, and this is an 8.5 by 11, and we're going to cut it in half. But before we cut it in half, no, I am not going to score it. I will show you how I normally do it, and then you could have scored it down this way, and then when you cut it in half, so this is the 11-inch side, I'm going to put it in here and cut it at 5.5. This is my score blade. I don't need that. I need to trim it, and I'm going to cut it. Now, that's how I normally do for when I'm cutting my cardstock, and then I just fold it in half. Make sure those corners are as exact as you can get them. There you go. Take your bone folder, and boy, I've said about 10 times already, and I don't normally do that. I hate that. So my card base is done. Now, the reason I like that is because no matter how exact I am when I fold this, it may not come even, okay? No matter how exact I try to be. So I like to fold them that way. And besides, half the time I forget to score it before I cut it anyway. Okay, then I'm going to layer. This is going to be my next layer, but it's going to be embossed. So where did my embossing folder go? I know I just had it. All right, what'd you see me do with it? I know it's, oh, here it is. Okay, so this is my eyelet. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it in here. Now, to be honest, if you don't have eyelet, use something else. I love some of the wave ones, or the swirly, or whatever it is. There's all kinds of different ones of these that are just gorgeous. So let's pull in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put that handle on my right-hand side. I'm going to pull out the wings. I am going to emboss, so I am going to pull out plate 4 and the base plate. Now, the reason I know that is because if I go down here with 3D embossing folders, I want 1, the embossing folder and the paper, and 4. So those go together. This goes inside. Now, this one, you do want to kind of pay attention to whether it's in there even, because these are so lined up. You want your fold to go in first and lay that plate 4 on top and roll through there. Rolls through very, very easy with embossing folders. Pull that out. Fold up my wings in a few minutes. The wings on the embossing folder. And voila. Isn't that gorgeous? Just love that. And look at all that great texture. Can you see that? Wow. It's kind of almost a little easier if I put a little shadow on it. Okay. So there is that. Then my next layer after my Cajun Craze. So I said we're going to make 2 cards. When I first cut this, I'm cutting the paper, the 8.5 by 11.5, and I'm making 2 card bases. Okay, right now I'm only going to show you 1, but this is 1/4 of a sheet. This one, so your card base, let me write these on here. Your card base is 8.5 by 4. 8.5. Oh my word. Why do I always forget this? This is 5.5. 5.5. And then the score line is 4 1/4. Okay. So those are our, oh, and then this one, that's what I started to write this for. And then our layer, first layer, is 4 by 5 1/4. And I've been writing it with a dot, so. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. If you have your layers, and I don't want to move the camera right now, but you've got 5 1/2. Once this is folded, you've got 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and then your next layer is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. 4 by 5 1/4. It doesn't matter how you say it, to be honest. So that's my layer. Then my next layer is going to be my Timid Tiger. Okay, so we need to, now on the Timid Tiger, let me show you where I cut it before, and it is right here. Okay, so for the Timid Tiger layer, I cut 4 3/4 by 8 1/2. Now, the reason I do that is because when I go to get my next layer, which is out of these branching out dies, I want, let's see, which one is, I think I want this one, and no, I think it's this one and this one. Yeah, okay, so I want the second one and the third one, okay? Or if you're coming from the inside, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, however you want to count it. But those are the ones you can put. Oh, I am also going to pull out this one, the smallest one, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. But the reason I made this or cut this at 4 3/4 is because when I put this die in here, that is perfect for the spacing on the cutting out my die. So let me show you what I did. I'm going to put this on here, lay it on there. Now, here's the problem. I'm going to put another layer on top of this, and this is going to be on this layer, so nobody's going to see if there's a hole in the middle of that. And I might want to use a Timid Tiger for something else and a little label. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it out just like that, and I'll show you what it does. So see, I knew I shouldn't put my wings up yet, right? So for cutting a die, I am going to use my plate 1. Then, let me put these down. Plate 2, plate 3, either one of them. There are 2 of them that come. I do my die cutting on one plate 3, okay? And I turn it all back and forth and around and all those kinds of things until it's totally worn out. And then I have one that I do not cut into, except when I make a mistake or somebody who's using my dies makes a mistake. But it's no big deal because eventually it will be the plate that I cut into anyway. So let's put this on there. We're going to cut the one that we want to use in there. And then we're going to cut out the one that we will use someday for something. It might be tomorrow. It might be, a couple of weeks. Who knows? So we're going to use it. Okay, I'm going to pull this back to me. Goodness. I do have a cold or bronchitis. Not fun. Okay, so pull that on through. And I'm going to go ahead and close that up because I've got the other one ready to go. All right, so then I've got my layer. I don't care that there's something out of the middle of it. I'll hold on to this one to use someday, like I already said. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way. Then I'm going to put this on here. That's going to be that layer. I want very vanilla, and I've already cut that. Let me move these and show you this one. So on this one, this is the layer that is just smaller, okay, than the Timid Tiger. Where'd Timid Tiger go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so it will go on here. You can't even see that there's nothing there. And it's going to be hidden like this, so it won't matter. And why put the weight in mailing your card if you don't need to? Oh, and then this piece was, well, let me see, 4.5 by 8.5. All right, so we had 4 3/4 and 4.5 by 8.5. Can you see that? Yeah. And we cut our shapes. Now, if you're doing another shape, you don't have to do this shape, although I have to admit, I really, really, really like it. Okay, you could do other shapes. You could do an oval. You could do circle. You could do a rectangle, whatever it floats your boat to do. Back to why we're doing 2 of each of these. So let me show you. Back here, I had cut out, now this is white, obviously, but here's my Timid Tiger. I cut out 2. I cut out 2. And I did the card bases too. This part, remember that we embossed, there's 4 out of a page, 8.5 by 11. But if I do just a half, then I've got that half a sheet. Then I've got that. Okay, so let's put that away, that away, that away. So easy to make 2 cards out of this is what I'm trying to reinforce to you. All right. Now, let's pretend I'm going to make 2 or 4 or whatever cards it is. So I would have them lined up here. And now we're going to do our stamping. And I've already got these on blocks. And I'm going to get, you know what? I could go ahead and cut this after I stamp it. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp on this as well. So I'm going to do this, and my colors are, where are my ink? Here they are. They're hiding, of course. That's what they should do. Cajun Craze and Timid Tiger. And I'm going to start with my Cajun Craze. And I am going to do the center of my flower. Just wanted to make sure that was clean. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. Now, I will tell you this. One thing that you want to do is if you've got too much ink in your ink pad for this, you might want to take a spoon like this and rub it around in the middle. I think we're going to be okay with this one. Whoops, I do need to get it all inked up though. All right, and I'm going to put it somewhat where the middle of my card would, the middle of my thing would be. So here's the other one. I'm going to go ahead and, again, I want to make it somewhat in the middle, but I don't really have to be exact. Matter of fact, in a minute here, I'll show you. Oh, I might save that for another day. Okay, so then I want to put petals on my flower. So this is the center, and then the petals. Now this one does have some pretty good shape or design to it. And you see when I rub the middle of that and push the ink to the edge, then I can, these are what we used to call distinctive. I'm not even sure if we call them that anymore. But on here, I am going to go down, about to this circle in the middle. And I am going to stamp that. Okay. Ink it up again. I'm going to overlap it. Come down to the middle of that. Notice it's going off the card. So I do not want to stamp again, because if I do, I'm going to get really light and really dark. And I don't want to do that. Okay, so then I get some more ink over there. Overlap it here. Go down to the middle of that circle. Okay, now you'll see I'm about halfway around. Okay, if this ink comes back too much, I can use my spoon again. Okay, overlap it a little bit. There we go. I overlapped it quite a bit there, but that's okay. Okay, and here you can see, now I will show you this. In the kit, or in the stamp set, there is an individual petal. I could, right here, put that individual petal, but to be honest, I don't care if I don't. I'm going to overlap it on those, but again, I really don't care. It's so gorgeous. And yes, you can somewhat tell, but it's not so stark that you're like, oh, you overlapped it there. You know, it looks really pretty. Now, I could, like I said, and it probably is a good idea to do that, but I didn't, and that's okay too. All right. The other thing I forgot to do was, oh, no, I did. It's here. This one, we are going to use our early espresso and put it on this. Now, again, I don't want dark on this. And I forgot to do the other, there we go, the other flower. And it gives us some center to that, and yet it's got that Cajun Craze on the outside of it. It just gives it more depth, and I really, really like this. Okay, we're not done though. We need to put our sentiment in there, and I think I already said I pulled Simply Said out, and I think we're going to do, I could do anything. Thank you, happy birthday, thanks, just a note, hello, miss you, but I'm going to do just a note. And find just a note. Oh, I don't know that I've used this just a note. Okay, I'm going to pull this leaf off, petal off. Okay, and I'm going to put this on here. Okay, and I'm going to go close up my Timid Tiger and go back to, do I want to use just a note in Cajun Craze, or do I want to use it in Early Espresso? I think we'll go with Cajun Craze. Okay, because I've not used this one before, I think I will, this is the one that I cut out of the middle. Put that on there. Oh yes, very nicely. All right, so, and, well, there we go. Just a note. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh yeah, that was a good choice. Okay, then what I want to do is take my marker. Now, most of you have probably heard that the markers are being discontinued. There are markers still available last time I checked, which was not today, but they are going away. I'm kind of sad about that. I know that it makes more room for other things, but I do like them for this. Now, you can use your, what am I trying to say? blends, oh my word, I just totally took a blank there. You could use your blends the same way, but I'm a little more protective of my blends. I don't mind using the markers for this. And I want to flick some color on here. So I take the paint end, the wider end, and my cap, and I take that, I put my marker in and flick it. And I'm getting paint everywhere here, but I'm flicking it. And I'm actually turning my marker so that I don't bend that tip one way or the other. And then you see all this on here. And I like to do this before I put the layers on, just so that if I don't want it on the rest of it, I can always do more if I want. By the way, another thing you could do on here is to Wink of Stella. Do I have my Wink of Stella? Oh, I was going to show you another way. Our painter markers, our painter pen, whatever you call them, waterfill painter marker things. What are they called? Oh my goodness. Water painters. I had it close. You can use that as well. If you don't have your markers, you can put water in it. I don't have any water in it at the moment, or I'd show you this. Take your ink from the back of your spoon, you might as well. Put some water in there, pick it up, and then flick it on your card if you don't have markers. And eventually those will, no markers. Eventually the markers will be gone, so we do need to know how, right? Okay, so let me put all this away again. Let's finish up this card. Let's get it all put together. And I do want to clean up my mess, preferably without a Kleenex that I have. Oh, look, I flicked some over here on this. So that's great, because I never did finish. I don't remember what I was going to show. Oh, I was going to show you the different flower. Well, duh, Patricia. Let me show you that. Okay, so I used these two on this one, or on the one that we finished. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to go ahead. Now, I do need to clean this because I put black ink on there, but I'm going to clean that off. And then I am going to, where are my inks? Here we go. So I've got my Cajun Craze, which I'm going to use first, and then my Timid Tiger with the other one. And I need another block. So let me pull that out. There we go. All right, so this is going to be my Cajun Craze. So if you take this, stamp it, there we go. Then take my Timid Tiger, or whatever other color you're taking. Where'd it go? Here's my petal. And then, I do need to clean that out. I am going to get the ink off of there. Okay. Oh, I think that was... Okay, push that out of the center again, just like we did before. Okay, now I'm going to get some ink on it. There we go. Again, I'm going to come down to that circle in the middle. Okay, look at the texture on that. Isn't that gorgeous? Again, I'm going to overlap. Overlap. Okay. And there. Now, because I've already used this one for my center, I could just take like the end of a marker, I mean like this, a paintbrush, take my early espresso, tap it in there, and this one is really tiny, but give myself, this one isn't even giving me much. There we go. There. I could do better at that, but I'm not going to spend the time. You get the idea. And now I can cut this out, okay? I cut the other one out before. So, before I stamped it, and now this one I can put on there and cut it out. And this is a little bit easier to put it in the middle after you stamp it than before you stamp it, or to do it the way that I did, but whichever works for you. I just love it, regardless of which way you decide to do it. Okay, so now where are my pieces that I made my layers? They're here. Here they are. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Ta-da, ta-da. There and there. And that's going to be my card. Now, I could put some ribbon on here. I haven't even cut this one open. Whatever ribbon you would like, to be honest. And if I were going to do this, I love this one. I think it's still in stock. Woven ribbon. But if I were going to do it, I would probably wrap it around this one. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it, just because I said if I were going to, but I guess I am. There we go. So, excuse me. I've got this bronchitis, which I'm not enjoying one little bit. One thing I like to do with this is to use my tear and tape and tear off a couple of pieces, short-ish, and then use my glass mat, get it on there evenly. Whoops, let's put it where you can see it. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Okay, hello, got to get that straight. And then whatever I put it on this side, put that tape, well, Patricia Diane. Okay, put that tape on it there. And then, again, line it back up. See where I've got it? I've got it right there. You see how they're even now from this side to this side? Okay, and put your second piece of tape there. There you go. Now, for some reason, that does not look even on the front. Let's make sure, because, well, it should be. There and there. All right, you know what? I'm going to do it by eye, because that just does not look straight. Whoops. Pulled the backing off. And now I'm going to have to do another piece of tear and tape, which is okay. It's just that I usually do it by eye anyway. Where did the tear and tape go? Here it is. Because I want it to look like it should be. All right. So, right there, right? Does that look good to you? Looks good to me. And then, but boy, you see how that tear and tape really holds it, doesn't it? That works. Okay. Then I'm going to put these on here, but I am going to put dimensionals. But because I need for this to be on, I am going to put my glue on this one. Okay, so I'm just going to put it around that edge because I don't need the glue. I don't put it on here because I don't need the glue in the middle. All right, so line it up again by eye. There we go. And whoops, it just slipped a little bit, which is what I like about the liquid glue, because then you've got a moment to, there we go. And I'm going to put some dimensionals now on the back of this. Okay. There we go, and I'll put one in the middle as well. I like that one in the middle to keep it from sagging. And then take off my backings. Be sure that it is up correct. Oh, it doesn't matter because I haven't put it on the base plate, the base card yet. Card base, blah, blah, blah. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to pull out my card base, and I have already put my, whoops, my tear and tape on there, so I could tear that off. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and use some seal, and I do want to go across that ribbon. There we go. And I will go ahead and pull off the, hello, because it was dragging. There we go. I will go ahead and pull off the backing here because that's just another piece of glue, if you will, to glue it to my card base. Okay, there we go. And right smack dab in the middle of that, again, by eye. There we go. Oh, I need to get rid of this before I get some ink on something. There we go. Clean that up. And voila, we have a card. Now, we're not done. We are not done. Oh, I love that. Now, I've got the ribbon here. I could put a bow on either side, but I don't really feel like I need it. It just doesn't look like it needs it. The last thing that we forgot to do, we being me, was our inside and our envelope. So since I used Very Vanilla on this, I am going to use Very Vanilla on the inside. So, where is my paper trimmer? And for the inside, it will be 5 1/4 by 4 by 4. There it is. Oops. Okay, there we go. And again, I would do all of this. See, I would have just cut another piece there. And I know the envelope is white. I do know that. But we do not have the vanilla envelopes anymore, which is fine. Used to, that would really have bothered me. But I've kind of embraced the white envelope. Why did I put that away? I'm going to pull my inks out again real quick. I'm going to start with my Cajun Craze, and I'm going to do this on both. Oops! I put that in the wrong corner. Patricia Diane. Oh, okay. So, again, put that. I'm going to put just like a corner of that. I'm going to do the same on my card, but I am going to put it on the other corner. There we go. And put that one away. And get out my Timid Tiger. And I'm going to do my leaves or petals. There we go. And there. Ta-da! Isn't that gorgeous for the envelope? I just love it. Okay. And do want to pull out. I have so much Kleenex because of this cold, so I'm just going to use that to wipe my glass mat. And do the same thing on the inside of my, where I can write. There we go. And right there. And I love it. It's so pretty. Now, if I want to do the early espresso middle, I can do that as well. There we go. And this one, because I don't want to go up very far, I can go ahead. I just need to make sure I don't use that part. Whoa. Not on. There we go. Do you see that? How I've got the the inked part. Ta-da! There it is. Nice, nice, nice. And then you can see that I've got, actually have 2 more middles. All right. So let's put these up before I make a real mess. All right, the envelope and the inside of our card. And I did say put these up, and then I still started to, okay. And as always, remember to stamp it before you put it in your card, so that if you make a mistake, you can then turn it over and put it on the inside. Turn it over and stamp it again. All right, there is our card. Do you like it? I love it. And I really almost missed these cards when I first, these stamps, when I first looked at the catalog. I did not see them until I saw somebody somewhere. There we go. There are all of our stamps that we used, I think. Oh, you can't even see them all. Let me go up a little bit. There we go. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget to answer our question of the day, which is, do you like pickled beets? And whether you do or not, do you know what chow chow is? And have you ever canned it or made it yourself or eaten it? And do you like it if you do? All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your likes and shares and subscribing and all those wonderful things. Don't forget also to check out my Alaska videos. I've had some Alaska trips where I've shared a lot of excuse me, Alaska videos. So check those out. Have a good one and enjoy.